It'll never be easy, whether they were in Golden State or even if they were in Boston, if they were in LA, it don't matter where you are. A closeout game is a closeout game. It's going to be difficult. That's what it's for. But some things
Now tuned into the greatest.
The Run with Manny Wilson podcast.
The Run with Manny Wilson podcast.
The best sports podcast there is.
Yes, sir. Welcome back to The Run with me, Manny Wilson, the best sports podcast there is, all the way from Detroit to Chicago to your speakers and headphones. Hey, man, we got a great episode for you today on June 16th, 2022. You know what today is? It's Thursday. And let's go ahead, hit the phones. We got the voicemail callers in today. And hey, as a reminder, you can always leave a message. You can shoot us a call. Just call us at 219-413-9405. Hey, we got the playoffs too, talking about that, Anthony Davis, the Lakers, all of that. But let's start with the callers. Let's jump straight into it because I got to hear what they saying today on this amazing Thursday morning. Let's kick it off. First caller, here it is.
What's going on, man? It's your boy Boots.
What's
I
good,
got a
Boots?
question for you, man. Do you think the Pistons can win an NBA championship between from now to 2030? Anywhere you think any come up soon, or you gotta break it all apart again later?
You know, all right, I like that one. I like that. I ain't had no Pistons question in a minute, so all right, let's do it. But yeah, man, the Pistons, as you know, I'm a diehard Pistons fan, and it kills me to say this because I would love for them to get to the NBA Finals in this decade of between 2020 and 2030. I would love for them to get to the finals, but it's going to be tough, man. I think we got to push a little bit further, definitely toward the end of this decade, if anything. I would say if I had to give an estimate of when we'd win a championship, I'd probably say around maybe 2035, maybe like 2033, around that time. Because by that time, if we can keep our same guys, we can keep Cade, we can like continue to build around him. Jeremy Grant and Sadiq Bey, like we can keep these guys and they can continue to ball, then we don't have anything to worry about at all. So, you know, I think those are just the main concerns. They're very young right now, and the Eastern Conference is still loaded, man, for this decade. You got guys who are definitely going to be playing that top tier talent for the rest of this decade, and until they start getting old, that's when we'll possibly be able to creep in, as long as we got good personnel and good play, good coaching, all of that stuff. But to answer the question, I'd say not this decade, but maybe around the 2033, 2035. That's where I'm projecting. And if we're lucky, we'll see a 2028. We'll see a 2028 if we are lucky. But you know what? That's a good one, though. I like that one. I like that. That was a solid question there. Let's move on to the next. Let's see what else we got here.
What's up, Manny? So this is your big brother, Yogi. My Instagram is Gene Wilson V, but I'm calling because I think you was talking big cash when the Celtics went up in the series, talking about how the big little brother, you know, is stomping on the big brother and you know all that stuff, and how you got taller than me and how I'm supposed to be afraid to play you one-on-one.
This is facts. This is facts.
First of all, you know, the whole one-on-one thing, I'll say this. I was just tired that day.
You was tired. Oh, come on.
School, you know, I graduated college and you going into college. So, man, you were still working out and everything. So you tried to come back at me when I wasn't in shape yet. So, but that's a whole different story, though. That's a whole different story.
Oh, man.
My question to you is, what's the news story if the Warriors go ahead and end the series in Game 6, or even if it's Game 7? You know, what's the news story? Is it the big brother kind of let the little brother feel like he could throw some punches? Like, you know, like come on, little bro. I make it seem like you could win, but you already know what's going to really happen. So I just want to know, what's the news story?
The news story. Oh, man. You know what? Okay. Hey, first, I can't believe you talking about I was just tired. Come on. Come on. You can't give me a better excuse than that. I was just tired. You supposed to have it under control. You got to be ready at all. Protect yourself at all times. As Floyd would say, you got to be ready. But to answer your question, the new storyline about it, oh, man, I would say I'll come up with that new storyline if it happens. If the Warriors close it out tonight in Game 6 in Boston, I would already be surprised if they do that. But I'm hoping the Warriors win anyway. But it would be a new story. Maybe it will be along the lines of something like the big brother sometimes got to make the little brother feel like he doing something, but just not quite yet. Not quite yet. You got to wait till I get a little bit older. Wait till my legs go out just a little bit. Wait till I get some back problems. Maybe that'll be the storyline of if the Warriors win. But I'm gonna make sure I touch on it. Because that's a great point. I was talking heavy about Big Brother, the little Big Brother. I was talking heavy about that. So I like that one. Okay. All right, we got one more. Here's the last one. Let's do it.
Honestly, don't think the Warriors will take it in Game 6. Just saying because Jason Tatum might have a good game, and let's say it's in Boston too, man. I don't think so. There's no way. Yeah, I don't believe it. Who knows?
Yeah,
anything's possible. Game 6 is possible.
Yeah, that is. So you know what? That is very true. And I didn't catch your name. It looks like you forgot to leave it in the voicemail, but all good, no worries. But I actually agree. It is definitely going to be tough for them to close out in Boston. That's the 100% most difficult thing to do, especially any closeout game is just tough to do. And now you're playing Boston in Boston. It's going to be tough. I will agree with you. I'd be surprised if the Warriors close it out tonight. I hope they close it out tonight, but I would still be surprised. They would have to play spectacular. And as a matter of fact, let's go ahead and touch on it really quick. So, man, the Celtics, they got a couple things to clean up. It's no secret. They got a couple things to clean up in this series here. But not only does the Celtics have things to clean up, the Warriors also have things to clean up in this Game 6 if they want to close it out here. And it's a closeout game. It's not going to be easy by any means. It'll never be easy, whether they were in Golden State or even if they were in Boston, if they were in LA, it don't matter where you are. A closeout game is a closeout game. It's going to be difficult. That's what it's for. But some things the Warriors have to focus on if they want to win in Game 6. First things first. Defensive intensity. I don't care what anybody says about Game 5. It was a great game. Yes, Stephen Curry finally got some help, but the defense is the thing that won this team that game in Game 5. When you look at every play, every quarter down the stretch, whether they were missing shots, making shots, Steph was broke all game, so that's excluded. But Wiggins was in the game, whether it was Gary Payton the second in the game, it did not matter. The one thing they focused on as a team was their defensive intensity, and that's ultimately what it's going to come down to in Game 6. That's the first priority for the Golden State Warriors. And the second one, and to capitalize on the defensive end, the help defense. That's something that was huge for the Golden State Warriors because not only did they help on mismatches, because the Celtics continued to try and exploit them on mismatches, they brought Steph to guard Jason Tatum or Jaylen Brown or even maybe Al Horford. But the difference between this game and what we've seen with the others was that the Warriors played help defense. And I noticed the Celtics, they did something really smart. They did something really smart to counter that defensive intensity that the Warriors were bringing and the great defense that the Warriors were bringing. What they did, they took Robert Williams out. They stretched the floor with Al Horford to spread the floor and declog the paint. I don't even know if that's a word, but they did that to get people out of the paint. That way Jason Tatum and Jaylen Brown can go attack the paint without it being four people down there. Because with Robert Williams, he's good. He's going to grab the rebounds. He's going to add that extra height, that extra beef down there to the paint. But ultimately, he's not going to help you spread the floor. So he'll help you play bully ball and knock these guys down to the ground. But no, he's not going to help you spread the floor. And because one thing wasn't working, that was just a great adjustment I seen from head coach of the Boston Celtics. But yes, they spreaded the floor and they'll need to knock down their shots. That's something else. But let's stay on the Warriors as we continue forward right here. Another thing the Warriors have to do on the offensive end, obviously, We need Wiggs to step up. We gonna need to see Game 6 Clay step up and have a big game. We gonna need Draymond Green to even make some good plays and play good on the offensive end as well as the defensive end as he did in Game 5. But this is gonna be a lot more tough. You know why? Because it's in Boston. It's in Boston. They don't have the fans cheering for them when they're going on a slow stretch. They're going against them. And say what you want, but that little thing makes a difference versus the bubble versus now. This is why some people said the bubble did not count. But look at it now. It's huge. So that's another thing. We're going to need to see a big game from Clay, Wiggs, Dre, all of them, and even the role players to step up. Poole has to come off the bench and give a huge spark. It's no doubt about that. This is what Poole does. And the Warriors, they have a great game. Anytime Poole comes off the bench and he gives some sort of spark, whether it's in the third quarter, whether it's a buzzer beater, whether it's just a big time shot to help the stretch, Poole has to show up and he has to give the Warriors some type of help when he comes in the game off the bench. And he's been doing a great job at that. More or less, some games he's doing better, some games he's doing worse. But ultimately, in this closeout game, that's what he's going to have to focus on for sure. All right, let's move on to the Celtics. But before we do that, last thing, Warriors, they have to score the ball. They have to score the ball. And if they want to win this game, they'll win by playing good defense and scoring the ball outside of Steph Curry. As we know, Steph Curry can't have another bad game like that. So it's going to be interesting to see. But let's go. Boston Celtics. Here we are. They are the home team, the little big brother, the team I called the little big brother. Let's see how much the little big brother actually has in their tank as they continue forward. This is going to be tough. And the first things first, man. Look. First things first. Nope, we done with the music too. Because this team here, I like this team. I like the Celtics. There's no secret about it. But I just want Steph Curry to win. But what they need to do, the first thing the Celtics need to do is quit crying at the damn referees. Look, I've been watching basketball for a very long time. I play basketball, all of that. But damn, quit crying at the damn referees. It looks desperate. It looks like you're defeated. You need to stop it. I'm a huge fan of Jason Tatum, one of my favorite young guys in the league. But damn, I can't keep seeing you wave your arms at the ref because it does not look like you're playing for yourself or playing for your team. It looks like you're playing to get calls and making plays just to get calls. I get it. The free throw line is a huge pivotal point for any game because it slows it down, it helps with runs, all of that. But we do not need you crying at the referee. It looks so desperate just looking from a fan's perspective. It looks like you're defeated. Oh my gosh. So that's step one. That's the first thing the Celtics need to do. Even though they're at home, that's just the first thing they need to drop and cut out from that entire game plan. And I'm sure head coach Udoka has been saying, cut the crying, cut all of that BS out the picture because it's not helping anybody. At the end of the day, you're going to have to get back on the other end and make a play. All right, so that's the first thing right there that they need to stop. Second thing, cut all of these damn turnovers off. Why are you turning the ball over 14 plus times? And if you haven't noticed by now, anytime the Celtics have turned the ball over more than 13 times, they've lost the game. So they need to quit it with these turnovers. And as they turn the ball over down the stretch, whether it's early, late, does not matter. Either way, they're giving the Warriors more and more chance of a comeback, or they're giving the Warriors more and more chance to build upon the lead that they already have. So that's something that's huge. They definitely had to quit it out with all of those turnovers. They're not going to win game 6 or even the series if they continue to turn the ball over this way. That's something they definitely got to clean up right there. And the last thing here, it's one of the last things. The Celtics, they have to get every single person involved on the offensive end. It's no secret. They play good defense. We know that. We've been watching them play good defense all playoffs and since the playoffs started. But they have to get everyone involved on the offensive end. And when I say everyone, I mean more than just Jason Tatum and Jaylen Brown. And for those two, they got to have a good game together. They can't keep playing a bad game together over and over, night after night, or one have a good game, the other have a bad game. No, we need both of y'all to come on and play a good game if they want to win. And if they want to win the series, especially this game 6, because best believe both teams are going to come with it with their best basketball. So you have to make sure you enforce the things you're supposed to adjust on. Other than that, you're not going to see a win, especially in this closeout game, a game 6, when you're fighting for fighting to play, pretty much. And both teams are fighting to continue on to play or be done completely and celebrate versus the Warriors. But also, too, get everyone involved with the game. You can't keep having these games where the role players aren't putting up numbers. As you see throughout the series, this team is the best when the role players are putting up 15, 12, 8, 9, 13, 20, whatever the case is. When the numbers are spread out through the Celtics team, that's when they play the best basketball. And that's something they're going to have to adjust with if they want to win this game. So the key points and the key takeaways for this game here is to limit the turnovers, cut all that crying out from the referees, and get every single person involved on that offense to make sure they can get into a rhythm and knock down those 3-pointers. So it's going to be cool in game 6. I cannot wait to see game 6 tonight, man. It's going to be great. But we're going to take a quick break here. We got some news coming up. Anthony Davis is coming up as well. So stay tuned. We will be right back. Now, you know, just because you're busy doesn't mean you got to be stressed. I'm crazy busy right there with you, but it can be easier. Next time you're on a run, just make it more fun and listen to The Run with Manny Wilson.
Now tuned into the greatest.
The Run with Manny Wilson podcast.
The Run, the Manny Wilson podcast.
The best sports podcast there is.
Yes, sir. Welcome back to The Run with me, Manny Wilson. We got some news for The Run for you on June 16th, 2022. So to kick it off with the news, the Dallas Mavericks have been making moves already so far this offseason. The Houston Rockets center, Christian Wood, was traded to the Dallas Mavs for Trey Burke, Boban Marjanovic, Marquise Chris, Sterling Brown, and the 26th pick in the draft. Montrezl Harrell of the Charlotte Hornets is facing a felony drug charge for 3 pounds of marijuana in the vacuum-sealed bags found at a traffic stop in Kentucky. Oh man, hopefully he gets better, gets out of that situation because that's tough. But you know, at the same time, it's not necessarily a smart move. You got to move a little bit smarter than that as a professional athlete and just as someone being careful when you got those type of things riding around with you. But Anthony Davis, he says he has not touched a basketball since April. And that was the Lakers' last game. But the whole thing here was some people started to overreact. And when I say some people, I more so mean the media guys. And this just shows, man, this is embarrassing because it just shows that, man, y'all media guys, you guys have never picked up a basketball or touched a basketball in your life, huh? And this exposes that more and more. Because I don't know, I guess this is maybe what happens when you play for the Los Angeles Lakers, and you know the Lakers, you know, big Showtime team, LA, all of that, and it's a dry day in media, so you know you just need something to talk about. Maybe that's the case, but I guess this is just more so aimed at the media guys because it makes no sense. I get it. Anthony Davis ain't touched the basketball since April. Whatever. It's the offseason. They're not in the playoffs. Why are we overreacting to this? And my thing is, if you're one of those people who are overreacting, just take a second to think about the situation. It's not like Anthony Davis is coming up on preparing for the regular season right now or preparing to start taking on exhibition games. They just lost. They just got booted from the play, or they didn't even make the play-in. Here I am talking about the play. They didn't even make the play-in game. He's resting. It's the off season. You know how many guys do crazy things? What did I just read in the news? Montrezl Harrell for the drug charge. What did, like, come on now. Why aren't people jumping on Montrezl Harrell like that? And we know the reason, because one, he's not a big star and nobody really cares because he doesn't play for the Lakers. He doesn't have as much fame as Anthony Davis. People expect so much more from Anthony Davis because he has such a good skill set on his side. Like, I mean, he's a great player and he's an NBA champion. So people are expecting crazy things from him. They're expecting him to be in the gym 24/7, like he's a LeBron, like he's a Kobe, like he was a Mike. And that's not the case for every player. That's just not the reality of it. And I'm a firm believer. I'm all for the, well, this is this guy's job. He needs to, go all in for his work, do his thing. Okay, so let me ask you this. Since you believe that Anthony Davis needs to do his job 24/7. If you have an off day from the office, are you still gonna log on to your laptop and computer and start doing work? Like, tell me that. If you have an off day at your job, are you still going to drive to work, go in person, say hey to everybody, or be in the office by yourself and do your job? Absolutely not. It's the off season. It's your time off. But when you have to get ready to go the next morning, what are you going to do? You're going to prepare, because obviously you have something to do and you have work coming up. You're going to prepare for that. It's the same damn thing with athletes, man. Like, they're not going to lose everything and lose all the beats that they have and all the skills they have just because they don't touch a basketball, football, baseball in a couple months. You got to understand, they've been working their entire life to get to the point where they are, from age 15, 13, some people even younger than that, to get to where they are, and to even reach that skill level to be a professional athlete, not an overseas or well, that's even professional. So yeah, that even counts as well, but not even like a college athlete, to make it past all of those barriers of becoming a star in high school or being good in high school, going to college, being good in college, and then developing to go to the pros, whether it's overseas or whether it's the NBA. Like, that takes so much. A person who does something every day of their life to get where they are is not going to lose it all in no damn 2 months or 3 months, whatever the case is. This is a huge overreaction, but I just found it silly because it's nonsense. It's nonsense. Nobody should be worried about it. I honestly don't think it's going to be a case. I'm positive when the season gets closer, best believe Anthony Davis is going to go ahead and get his game right. Like, come on now. He's going to get his game right. It's the off season. Players do all kind of stuff media would lose their mind about if they knew the details about. Again, look at the news. Go back and listen to the news I just said about Montrezl Harrell. Like, come on now. That's just a glimpse of what people are doing. These guys are human too. That's my last thing though. These guys are human too. But no, man, I appreciate you for hanging with me. If you're still listening to the episode, man, greatly appreciate it. Share it with your brother, your big little brother, your older brother, or if you're middle aged, share with both of them, even your sister as well. But yeah, aunties, uncles, all of that. But no, man, I greatly appreciate you. Be sure to follow us on Instagram at The Run Podcast. You can follow my personal Instagram as well at The Run Podcast. And feel free to leave a message whenever you can. I mean, we'll air it on Thursday, 219-413-9405. But hey, man, greatly appreciate you. I hope you guys have a great weekend. We will be back on Thursday. Maybe Monday. We might give y'all a surprise episode because it'll be Happy Juneteenth. But until then, we'll be back on Thursday. And from that day, so on and so on and so on.